All right. Welcome into this edition of the Inside the 10. Don't forget, get over to Twitter at Gridiron Grubb. You can follow, subscribe here on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe over on Apple Podcasts, give it a 5-star rating. And with that being said, let's move into the game week 14 that we're looking at. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Raiders visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, and Chiefs fans hoping that everything's going to go well for them in this game. You know, they've been on kind of a buckle, right? But we'll see what happens. They've been moving it. But looking at the Raiders side of the ball, right now they're 10th overall on defense, but they're 2nd overall in passing, and that's huge. So they're going to need to work the ball basically. You know, they need to keep time of possession this week. Hunter Renfrow is going to be really big for them in the route running and catching these passes that, you know, are possession receptions that he gets going down the field, 5, 10, 15 yards. Those are going to be big plays in this game for the Raiders. If they get that done, they really need to move the ball down the field, control time of possession. They've got to control the line of scrimmage. They need to get Jacobs going for this game. They really have to, on the offensive side of the ball for themselves, control this line of scrimmage, really get it going, get the ball down the field in drives. And then when they have their chances, they need to hit their chunk plays, right? Okay, so they've got to control the time of possession, but they are going to need some big plays to be competitive in this game. They've got to hit some plays down the field, either Zay Jones, Deshaun Jackson. They've got to hit these guys down the field on a couple big plays, but they really do need to control the time of possession, keep that Chiefs offense off the side of the field. They're not looking at any major offensive injuries this week, so that's good. The defense side of the ball, Dean Nassib is out. Anawasor is also out. Perryman is doubtful. Doesn't look like he's going to play, so that's a big loss on this defense. So Max Crosby is going to have to really step up in this game and prove that, this defensive line in a whole is going to really have to step up. But Max Crosby is going to have to play lights out. They're going to have to force Mahomes to stay in the pocket and throw from the pocket and be pressured in the pocket. They have to keep him in there. When he rolls outside the pocket and he gets in these scramble plays with even Kelsey, and you have Tyreek Hill running downfield, that's going to be a big job for this defense on the side of the ball for the Raiders. So they're going to need to do that. They got to keep Mahomes under pressure with 3, 4, 5-man pressures, be able to cover down the field. Moving into the Chiefs side of the ball, Chiefs offense 5th overall combined in the NFL right now. Mahomes is getting better week by week. These teams have really focused on not giving up the big play on these guys, so they've really focused with 2 safeties over the top, kind of even bringing in nickel backs on downs that they normally wouldn't, but they've been doing that to them. And the Chiefs, Mahomes, they're getting better, getting the ball underneath to Kelsey, getting the ball underneath to Tyreek Hill, letting Tyreek Hill do his magic. Kelsey break some tackles, get those yaks. They've been a lot better at kind of driving down the field, but they're going to be forced to do that every week now, because that's the MO of how to beat these guys and how to keep these guys. You want long drives from them, even if they do score, because you're killing clock, and then you get the ball back. You want to drive down the field on them, kill more clock, so you don't want to have all these huge opportunities for them. That's a big job. So right now their offense, though, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, these guys, they're getting better at, again, just working the ball down the field, making their plays when they need to. But now they've been able to hit some more medium to deeper routes as they work that short game more, work their running game, work the backside of the backfield, hit Tyreek on the underneath crossing patterns. Those things have really helped. So their defense, they're going to be without cornerback Chris Lemons, but we'll see what happens. I think the Raiders with their pass offense can get this going, but the Raiders on their own offense, so the defense for the Chiefs, the Raiders are 28th in rushing, but they're 2nd in passing. So it's a total different spectrum. So really, if the Chiefs can kind of force them into the run, the Raiders don't seem to do that very well this season. Now, Jacobs has been hurt some. Now you got Kenyon Drake down. But you're going to look and see if these guys can get it going. in that game, they're going to have to be really aggressive. The Chiefs defense is on these receivers, get in the line, come with some exotic, schemes and zone blitzes for this game. And that's how the Chiefs on defense, and look for Spagnuolo to do that. He's a very good coach at coming up with these plays when he needs to, and these blitzes and these exotic schemes. So looking at that, looking at the top fantasy plays, and obviously we do PPR here. So Derek Carr, I don't have him having a huge game this game. I know they're passers, but I think if they're going to be successful, Josh Jacobs is going to have the bigger game. But I do have Renfro having a good game in PPR, catching some passes. If they do this right? These guys' scores are if their team plays how they should play. So this is how I see Hunter Renfro breaking it down. Bryan Edwards, it could be Zay Jones in there at a 10 to 12, 13-point game. One of those guys. My sleeper for the Raiders is going to be Deshaun Jackson coming in for the fantasy game. I just think the way that they're going to get this done is hitting some big plays to Jackson down the field. I know it could be Zay Jones, but Jackson was a little banged up in the last game. I think he's a little more fresh this game. That's how he plays basically week to week. So this is kind of a week that he could get some home run balls. Look at that might happen. Mahomes, I've got having a big game this week. I think 25 points, that's huge. I think that's where he's at this week. I think he has a big game. Edwards-Helaire coming through on the Chiefs for a little bigger game. I think he gets a touchdown, and he has some passes out of the backfield, so I think he accumulates some points as the game goes on. Tyreek Hill having a big game. Kelsey, I would say medium game, a touchdown, and, obviously in PPR, but 18 points for him is a medium game for a tight end, so that's where I'm looking at for him. Now, the sleeper for them, I could see Hardman getting some extra play this week, making some plays down the field, but also on these jet sweeps and these little bubble screens and things. I think Hardman gets some PPR play this week for these guys. Looking at the odds and the final score, I think the Chiefs put it down here. I've got them a 14-point victory, 34-20. I think they get it really done this week. I don't see how the Raiders really compete in KC. I know it's a rivalry game and these can be close. I think it's close for most of the game, 3 quarters, and the Chiefs kind of pull away towards the end of the game. 47.5 is the over-under. So obviously I'm taking the over on that because we've got 54 points up there. So I'm taking the over on that. Spread KC minus 10. I'm obviously taking KC, even though the points, that's big spread to break there. But, it's the NFL. But I just got to go. Like I say, I've got 14-point victory for the Chiefs. I think they pull away late. Money line minus 460 on the Chiefs. I don't want nothing to do with that. Not going to make enough money off of it. I mean, obviously, you probably get a victory and a win. You make a little chunk of cash if you bet a lot of chunk of cash. So, but it's not something I want to bet a little bit of cash on to make a little bit of cash. Kind of where I'm at on that one. Vegas, I don't think they're going to win. If you wanted to bet on, you're a big Raiders fan and you want to put money down, plus 360 is a hell of a bet to get. So if you wanted to do it, I could see it. So looking at that again, Chiefs win, 14-point victory. I've got the over. I've got the Chiefs beating the spread, and I don't want anything to do with the money line in this one, maybe some prop bets. And with that being said, that's the end of this episode. Chiefs, Raiders, don't forget, get over to Twitter, follow at Gridiron Grubb, subscribe here on YouTube, get over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the podcast on there, 5-star ratings. And with that being said, I appreciate you, and I'm out.